Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover how to create suspense account, create statistical unit of measure. Also, we are going to quickly cover creating general source and general category. Then ledger level accounting sequencing for primary ledger. When we post journal entries, it should have sequence created, either GL level or subledger level. And finally, processing schedule. So how we can schedule different reports and processes on specific day by creating our own schedule. So let's begin by creating suspense account. I have already logged into our application. I will just go to functional setup manager, and suspense account is part of general ledger application. So from here, I ensure that financial is selected, and then I click on general ledger. And I have to find out the suspense account. So there must be manage suspense account. Usually I just use find option to easily find out of many tasks, which saves our speed. And here you need to understand that suspense account is created at chart of account level. Okay, means for which chart of account you are creating suspense account for. And why? Because that's where you have the GL coding for your company, your department, your division, your natural account, your intercompany, right? So today we are going to create a suspense account for US chart of account. Once I select all the suspense account which already there, they will come up. But now we are going to create one for the US primary ledger. But here there is one already created, right? But apart from this, I have to create one more because that is a unique code combination specific. You can create as much as you want. Obviously, uh, according to your business processes, you will create them and your business needs. And I just click add here. And first here, I have to select my ledger. So same chart of account can be shared across multiple ledger. So I'm going to select US primary ledger, and for this ledger, I'm creating the suspense account. So can I choose a specific source? Okay, I want source to be selected, maybe payables. So whenever that transactions come from this specific source, and category I'll keep other. So category could be anything. So I'm not categorizing like invoice, credit memo, debit memo, or something like that. Category others means it includes all as long as source is the same. Then I have to choose the suspense account. And in here, yeah, I'll take legal entity 1010, and then I have to select the suspense account. I think 91300. Let me find out by description. Yeah, that's 29900. That's a suspense account I want to set up and click OK. And that's all. So this is kind of, default suspense account and will be used for all the suspense journal unless specific source and a category combination is created. So I have created for this unique combination for US primary ledger, source is payable, and category others. And this is a specific account. So whenever journal entry for this specific source is not balanced, right? In that case, as a part of your source and category, an other will be created. Selecting other for this general source and general category enables suspense posting for all the journal entries. Okay. So whenever journal is imbalanced, okay, in that case, the remaining amount, or whenever you are not clear about it, right, that time the suspense account will be considered. So it is just created. I will just save and close. And that's how you create a suspense account. That was the intention. I will not go now deep dive. I'm going to cover the next lab on statistical unit of measure. The path is same again, general ledger, and down here below the suspense account, there is a manage statistical unit of measure. I just click on that. So why do we create statistical unit of measure is to keep head count. Okay, that is additional to your financial figures. So here I'm going to click add on row. Sorry, I first have to select. I'll just cancel this. First, I have to choose like I have chosen for the suspense account. I also have to choose the my chart of account first here, and that is going to be US chart of account. And I see there are multiple accounts, natural account code have unit of measure already defined. But in my case, I'm going to create new one for code combination 91000. Okay. And for this code, expense code, I want to define as a head count. So I just give the description. This is for departments employees. Okay. So whenever, say for example, there is a team of people traveling, marketing team traveling some corporate event, conferences, and that time you have booked a ticket of 10 employees, flight ticket, the accommodation, hotel booking, and all. In that case, when you post expense entry, it could be in big figure, good number. So in that case, you should know how many people traveled for that event. You spend so much of amount. So that time you can mention 10, 20, 30 employees. So in addition to your amount, there will be headcount column will come as a part of the journal entry as and when you select this expense account. So that is the idea. So this is created. I will just click save first and confirmation, and it is being saved. Here you can see the one I just created is there. I close this now. Remember this number. So as and when I go to that code using journal entry, you can see the head count has to be mentioned. Now next lab, I'm going to create the general source and general category quickly to understand. So for this general source, I have another 10 to 15 or 20 minutes kind of a session which talks in more detail in deep dive as to why there are so many parameters there when you create a general source. So you can see them at my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm just going to create one general source and I will name this max billing. So max is one of the software, okay, for which uh, the retail level billing is captured, and later on from this max billing system, the journal entries or that billing transaction is transferred to GL. So max billing records or transactions, right? In here, free journal, I'll keep it as a freeze because nobody can change once information come from max billing system to GL. I'll keep as is the rolling date. Rolling. References, I want yes. Approval, I will uncheck. It is not needed. Mm, everything else, I'm going to keep as is. I'm not going to change anything. Okay. Uh, all right. Maybe you can, if business policy says require general approval, in that case, the controller of the max billing who looks after reconciliation, monthly reconciliation between the that billing software and the GL balances, that person can, check this mark in order to keep watch and monitor that everything is approved before it is posted. So that's how you quickly create the source. The idea of this lab is to understand how to create source, which I created. Now, more detail about the rest of the parameters which are there and attributes. There is a separate video of 15-20 minutes on my channel, which you can watch later. So I just cancel this, source is created. Now we'll go ahead and create, manage general categories. So in here, I will create one category. So we're just learning how to create categories. So path is same, functional setup manager. Under financials, product family, you choose general ledger. In general ledger, you come to manage general categories task. Here I'm creating category for max billing. So I will just type max billing as the same name for category. So billing transactions from max. That is my description. Exclude from manual journal entry. So I'm going to check this box because I do not want anybody to enter at GL level any entry related to this category manually. So entry, if has to come into system, GL system, ledger, it should not come as a manual journal entry. Exclude from manual journal entry. So nobody can enter it manually. The entry has to come from its source. Like we already have created source, that's a max billing. And simply I will save this. So what we have learned, how to create source and how to create a category. And that's the objective of this practice. So it is save and close now. And there is one more interesting setup as a part of specify ledger option. And again, for this ledger option, I have 1 hours of deep dive session, which talks on or cover each and every aspect of this specify ledger option in more detail. Okay. Every option is discussed in more detail in that specific video. All right, but for now we are going to cover the sequencing in today's part. So for now, for US primary ledger, sequencing is not enabled. It is a no sequencing. Now, in order to set up the sequencing, either you can set up at ledger level. See, if I check the ledger level, what happens? The payable enforced document sequencing checkbox are enabled. If I check just no sequencing, everything is grays out here, right here. If I check legal entity, in that case, the enforced document sequencing option for payable and receivable get enabled, as well as the one more option, enforce chronological, sorry, order on document accounting date also is enabled. So in certain countries, for statutory perspective point of view, there are certain compliances. In that case, this option has to be enabled. Okay. So as per your country specific localization, you choose the one suits your requirement. For now, I'm just going to select the ledger. And then do you want to enforce this number for payables and the receivables? In that case, you have to choose yes. Okay. if it is applicable to you. Okay. If not, you can just keep it unchecked. Right now, it is not needed. So I'm just doing these setups at a ledger level because sequencing, I want to, do it only for all the entries coming into general ledger should have a sequence to all the journal entries. So I just save, click save. All right. Now I have to find another option of manage, yeah, accounting and reporting sequence. Here I come and I have to create the sequence for my ledger. So here you can give a name, US statutory sequence, sequencing. So I just create new sequence. I'll give the same name over here as well. And I want to enable from today onwards. So it moves. Why did, oh, sorry. Here it is. So here I'll give the beginning number. The initial number is in thousand. You can give one, two, three, whichever is applicable to you, and I'll just save. So I just created sequence, right? And after I create a sequence, wait a minute, save and close. Yeah, it's created. Yeah, and now I have to assign this sequence. So I click the second tab, sequencing assignment. And then here you can see there are many primary ledger. Some of them are, enabled at legal entity level, right? And you can choose the type, sequencing event, validation, accounting date, right? So we'll create one for our ledger, US primary ledger. So here I choose US primary ledger. And I'll keep a journal entry type at GL level only. Sequencing, yeah, posting. So I'm not going to wait until, period close activity. I want to create sequence for each and every journal entry once it is posted. Sequence validation date, I'm going to keep accounting date, even the sorting date, accounting date, and require assignment. Yes, I'm going to keep this check as well. That's my need of the business. And then down here, association is given. So you have to choose your association right here. So I will create one. Sorry. Yeah, association. And now the one which I created, US statutory sequencing. And start day, I'll keep today's date. And I'm going to choose all the journal. I don't have any uh, reservation. I want to use same sequence to all the journal sources and category. So earlier we covered how to create journal sources and journal categories. So all the journal sources and category of my primary ledger will have a same sequencing. Okay. If your organization needs a different sequence for allocation, different sequence for different transaction like loan, insurance, depending on the nature of your business, right? Expenses, global HR, intercompany purchasing, then you can create for each different source and different category of combination a different sequencing. If your statutory or your business needs demand so even apart from that, you can also create exception and exclusion of the different combination of sources and categories. So basically, in this association type, We establish the association of a sequence with a set of sequencing control attribute. So it could be your balance type, it could be your source, it could be your category, right? So multiple association may exist per sequencing assignment. So you have a lot of options to choose which one suits your requirement. So and each may have several exceptions. So you may have a different combination of this sequencing, and for each sequencing, each kind of sequencing, you can have a different exceptions and exclusions. So you have enough amount of room there to match your business requirement. And once it is done, you click on save. Perfect. And then it is saved. And now I'm going to save and close. So I have created one sequencing at ledger level for a primary ledger entry. So even for subledger, had I enabled that subledger level like payables and receivable, then at subledger level sequencing, control attributes, we have to specify like balance type, uh, maybe general source, general categories, then document category, accounting event type, accounting entry type, etc. And in here, I'll go to general ledger and I'll click on all tasks and I'll find manage processing schedules. Click on that and here I'll create the schedule for US Vision Corporation under accounting calendar and frequency of run day is going to be on 20th, and I can choose the timing. So every night, uh, every night I want to run this, so around 24 hours clock. So I will choose 9 p.m. That's when there are less number of transaction. So I save. So what I just created a processing schedule for US Vision Corp, and the run day is 20th. I just click save, save and close. Now, in order to assign this schedule, I have to click to navigator and then come to tools and go to schedule processes. And here I click on the schedule new processes. And I have to choose one process, program, or report. Ledger count. So I'm going to choose this general ledger account detail report. Say OK, click OK. And this process is selected. Okay. And for this option, I'm going to click on the advanced. So first here, what you see is the process options. Okay. The timing and all. Okay. And after the parameters, there is another tab, schedule. Okay, these are the pre-selected parameters for that program to or report to run, and then I have to select the schedule because I've created my own schedule. So I'm going to use a schedule which I have created, frequency. So if you remember, I have some my own schedule. I have to choose use saved schedule and here the name. So if you remember the name, what I was given was US. It didn't come or what? It should have come. So if it is not coming, there is a one patch actually for system to update. So unless that patch is applied, it won't come over here. So it seems like unless the patch is applied to this application, it won't appear. So anyways, time being, for the sake of completion of this lab, I will choose the business classification notify schedule. So idea here is to understand how to assign a specific report process a defined schedule. Once I select this, if you see the frequency has been set according to the frequency chosen during the creation of it, and you can see the date schedule is already calculated by system, and you have to just click on the submit. So I won't do it because if I create too many schedule for too many requests, system will hang. So right now I will not do it. So far we have covered how to create suspense account, how to create journal source, journal categories, then statistical unit of measure, and accounting sequencing, and finally the processing the schedule. So that's it for today's session. Thank you for watching.